This program contains animal treatment that may concern some viewers.
Ian Monday. 1 month.
1 month.
That one is common.
Welcome to Four Corners, I'm Sarah Ferguson. We'll bring you that story in a moment. But first, an update on our colleagues, reporter Linton Besser and cameraman Louis Eroglu, who were arrested in Malaysia at the weekend after questioning the Malaysian Prime Minister about corruption allegations. Linton and Louis have been given their passports back but are still not allowed to leave the country. We're hoping they'll be home safe and sound in the next few days, and we'll bring you that story as soon as we can. And now tonight's story, which has already provoked a huge outcry on social media. Trophy hunting in South Africa has become a multi-million-dollar business where wild animals have a set dollar value, and they're not so wild anymore. 10,000 farmers in South Africa breed or raise big game for hunting on private land. Lions, rhinos, elephants, even in rare cases, tigers. Now, it may seem cut and dried that allowing people to pay tens of thousands of dollars for the thrill of killing a wild animal is a bad thing. But this film raises a controversial question whether controlled hunting is one way to fund the conservation of some of the world's most endangered species. The investigation from French filmmaker Olivier Mokiajewski begins on an early morning lion hunt.
The night has been short and it's raining, but nobody's complaining because they've waited for this moment for a very long time. We're in South Africa, which has one of the highest levels of hunting in the world. I'm with a group of French people. They're here for an 8-day safari. This is 57-year-old Alain's last chance to practice.
Il faut combien de balles pour tuer un lion?
Une, quand on est bon. Mais moi, comme je suis pas bon, il en faudra plusieurs. Non, il faudrait logiquement une, mais ça, c'est pas la réalité. Après, si je le tue d'une balle, je suis content. Pour lui. Faut pas qu'il souffre.
Hunting lions in South Africa is perfectly legal. At the start of the expedition, we cross some cattle grids. Hunting doesn't take place in the wilderness here, but in vast private domains which are entirely fenced off. There's little chance of the animals escaping. The hunters quickly track down a lion. Alain is accompanied by 3 armed hunting guides and 1 tracker. It's dangerous, but the adrenaline and the thrill is what draws these hunters. A single bullet was sufficient. The lion died from 1 single bullet wound straight into the middle of his chest. The hunt lasted less than an hour.
Congrats. Very good.
Alors, qu'est-ce que ça fait?
Je sais pas, je peux pas l'expliquer. C'est comme ça, mais c'est un très très bel animal. J'en ferai qu'un, ça c'est sûr. Je suis content qu'il soit beau, mais après, bon, il y a l'émotion, tout mélangé, quoi. Du regret, de la joie, tout. C'est bien. C'est une belle chasse.
It's time for the photo. The guides and trackers prepare the animal. The blood is wiped off, and the lion arranged to show off the hunter's prowess. Alan paid 15,000 euros for this lion. Each animal has a price. These guys have also hunted a hyena for 3,000 euros, an impala for 500 euros, a leopard for 12,000 euros, and 2 buffalo at 8,000 euros each. In total, their safari has cost them 70,000 euros, a lot of money. But in other African countries, it would have cost them up to 5 times as much. In South Africa, hunting is an industry. Everything is perfectly organised. It's all set up so that the client is satisfied and can go home with their trophy. This hunting business is worth more than 100 million euros. It's a profitable activity, but one that is increasingly subject to criticism. A business where the animal is nothing more than an object. We are investigating the privatization of the wilderness. Today in Bella Bella, they're auctioning off zebras, antelopes and rhinoceroses as if they were furniture. There are only white people in the room, and they're all here looking for a good deal. They're here to buy animals for nature reserves and photo safaris, but also for hunting. Bidding begins.
16 000, 17 000 euros pour un coup d'eau, par un million.
Pourquoi c'est bien aussi cher?
L'offre et la demande. Tout simplement.
Christophe Mays knows the figures. This former accountant left France 6 years ago to become a hunting guide in South Africa. He takes me to the warehouse where the 300 animals on sale that day are being held. Behind these doors are true treasures. The stud animals, the most handsome specimens of each species. Christophe Mays carefully checks the head and the horns of the animal, which will end up as a trophy for the hunter.
Qu'est-ce qui fait la valeur d'un animal dans ce genre de vente aux enchères?
Son âge et la qualité de son trophée. Il faut qu'il soit sain de corps, qu'il n'y ait pas de parasites, que son pelage soit brillant et vif et qu'il ait un très très grand cornage. Ça, c'est le fameux gnou doré.
C'est des animaux très très chers. Il a un tout petit cornage. Vous voyez maintenant la qualité du trophée par rapport à ses oreilles? C'est un mâle adulte. Ça va partir entre 20 et 25 000 euros.
C'est des sommes astronomiques.
C'est des sommes astronomiques.
Contrary to what one might think, these animals were not captured in the wild. They all belong to farmers. They were born into captivity, raised by the farmers, and then selected for auction.
Et donc là, qu'est-ce qui va se passer si quelqu'un achète cet animal?
Il va être mis dans un enclos de reproduction avec toutes ses femelles et en espérant qu'il fasse le maximum de petits bébés porteurs de trophées équivalents de ce qu'il a sur sa tête. Et donc c'est en fait après qu'on ira chasser, nous, la descendance de ces animaux-là.
They choose the best-looking animals to be sent out to be hunted. It is the livestock that is at the heart of this ultra-efficient business model, and investors speculate on their value as if they were stocks and shares. It's enough to give you vertigo.
Ici, c'est plutôt une chasse business plutôt qu'une chasse passion.
C'est un business qui rapporte beaucoup d'argent ici?
Un business qui fait vivre énormément de gens. C'est un gros business. Beaucoup de fermiers laissent tomber l'élevage de vaches pour se mettre à l'élevage de gibier parce que c'est porteur, c'est mieux que la bourse.
As a result, in South Africa, more than 10,000 farmers breed animals for hunting. We have arranged a meeting with one of these millionaire farmers who are notoriously difficult to speak to. Caroline and Jacques were nursery owners, and then 20 years ago they bought this property and started breeding animals.
Thank you.
If you look down here, the majority close to us is our property. You look down here behind those tall trees, about 2 miles down there, you'll find the tar road, and it goes to those open grassed areas. That's more or less the end of the farm. It's about 7,000 hectares, and it's all well developed for game farming. Let's go and have a look.
7,000 hectares. It's almost as big as Paris. The simplest way to take a tour of the grounds here is in a helicopter. Thousands of animals live on this land. They're free to move around within the fences. In South Africa, 70% of wild animals, in fact, live on private land. To get the best produce, Jacques selects the genetic pedigree of the animals. Jacques is a savvy businessman. He knows he has to keep the clients interested, and so he's always offering new things, notably rare or new colours.
That's the most unique.
Golden gnus, completely white antelopes, and even black giraffes. Originality pays off, and these unusual animals can be worth up to 1,000 times more.
Ordinary impala is worth about 5,000 rand, and those black ones with the saddleback are now worth between 3 and 6 million rand.
And why the difference is so huge?
Because it is unique and it is rare, and it's not commonly available.
Mixing all the species and creating like these colors can let think that you are playing God a little bit?
Well, I don't think so. I think that what we do is what we've been taught out of nature. And in nature, we've seen that a specific color runs with a so-called ordinary color. It is not colors which are being generated by men. It is natural colors which are found in nature and then multiplied.
What would be the interest for hunters to hunt this species?
A lot of hunters are collectors. They've hunted everything. Now they want to hunt something new, something exciting. It's the same trend as with flowers, where you've got a new flower. All the ladies just love it because it's new. And it's like a dress. No woman likes to wear the same dress for 3 years in a row. They like to change.
Up to 10,000 foreigners go to South Africa every year to go hunting, mostly Russians and Americans. The ensuing race for trophies has caused an explosion in one industry, that is, taxidermists. There are hundreds across the country, and one has agreed to open its doors for us.
Mijak is busy cutting an African elephant. You can see that's the trunk.
That's the trunk, yeah.
There's the face with an eye, that side, very small eyes.
What are you going to do with the skin of the face of the elephant?
This is going to be shoulder mount. We'll go to the molds and I'll show you. It's going to get pulled over a mold and this guy's going to hang it on his wall.
The head of the elephant?
Yes.
But it's huge.
Yes, it is big. These guys have massive houses and they build their own like showrooms. This is actually a Russian client and he built a new house for all these trophies.
Only for the trophies?
Yes.
6,000 trophies are produced here every year. The taxidermists recover the skin, wash it, tan it, and dry it.
That's all what remains from the giraffe. Where is the head?
You just touch the head.
It takes an average of 8 months to make a trophy, and they don't come cheap. 4,000 euros for a lion and up to 70,000 euros for an elephant.
The client says what he wants, and we try to make it as close to that, his vision of that animal as he
Even if
can.
it's nothing to do with reality of the nature or...
That's normally the Americans.
Yeah?
They want big muscles and they want like bodybuilder animals, like kudos with thick necks and...
because they look stronger.
Yeah, they look stronger and more impressive. It's all about the size. The bigger the horns, the bigger the animal, the more it weighs. It's all about the size. Cool.
To highlight the strength and courage of the hunter, they also produce other products with the animal remains, from lamps to chandeliers and stools. When it comes to interior design, it seems the hunters have plenty of imagination.
I had a client that wanted the elephant's penis mounted. It was like mounted on a piece of wood and it was hanging on the wall, the balls and the penis.
Of the elephant?
Yeah, of an elephant. It's just weird.
Who are these trophy hunters who collect animals like stamps? In South Africa, 90% of foreign hunters are American. Welcome to Texas, cowboy country. Texas is the US state known for cowboy boots and rodeos. It's also the state with the most guns in the USA. 30 million weapons for 27 million inhabitants and 1.5 million hunters. Here, you don't joke about hunting.
Welcome. How are you doing? Sorry, it's raining.
For Cole Reed, a trophy collector, it's his passion and a big part of his family's history.
This is the Grand Lodge, the trophy room, as it were.
It's really impressive.
It's pretty impressive.
How many trophies do you have here?
There's about 200 in here total.
Cole Reed's family has made a fortune in real estate. They use it to fund their international hunting trips. From wolves to zebras, baboons and bears, they have hunted everything.
This up here is actually probably the most impressive part of the game room. It's what people really look at the most. Up on this shelf is the African Big Five, and what that is the lion, the leopard, the Cape buffalo, the rhino, and the elephant.
A lot of Americans book their safaris here in Dallas at one of the biggest hunting fairs in the world. It attracts 40,000 visitors from across the country.
Thank you for spending your day with us. I know you could be out playing golf or doing dishes or something like that. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
It's a vast supermarket for hunters. You can find camouflage gear, watchtowers, trophies, all-inclusive safaris which can cost up to 300,000 euros. You can hunt just about anything you want, anywhere in the world, including species that you might think would be protected, such as polar bears in Canada. The star product at this year's fair is the South African lion. You can even choose which one from a catalogue.
Why is it less expensive than this one?
Well, as you can see, this one's a little bit more mature in the sense this has actually got a more of a thicker mane, and also some of these, let me have a look. It also depends the kind of photo, because people want different kinds of photos and they want to mount different kinds of, it really just depends. The look and the size and the type, because there are different types.
It's funny because it looks like a catalogue, like if you're buying some clothes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here, they're very uninhibited when it comes to hunting. However, some recent scandals are now tarnishing this world. It started with Juan Carlos in 2012. The King of Spain paid 30,000 euros to kill an elephant in Botswana. The Spanish, who were experiencing a financial crisis, were shocked. His popularity tanked. 2 years later, he abdicated. In the photo to the left is his hunting guide, Jeff Ranand. I'm in luck. Jeff is here at the fair. For the first time, he agrees to talk about what happened on camera.
I don't really like to discuss it, and we were just had a relationship as a client and a friend and a hunter. The politics of it, I really don't understand. What he did was I think it was totally legal. It was a great hunt. He's, as I say, a great conservationist, and the value and the money that came in from those safaris helped manage the Botswana wildlife population.
But he had to apologize for what he'd done.
I think, again, that's politics, and I try not to get involved in politics or the emotions of hunting.
In 2013, there was a new scandal. 2 Americans published photos of their kills. You can see them smiling, victorious with the animals they hunted at their feet. This sparked petitions, insults, and death threats. Whilst in South Africa, they took part in what is called a canned hunt, a controversial form of hunting in which semi-domesticated lions are shot down one by one. It's a nasty little secret that South Africa has managed to hide for many years. So I'm going back to investigate. Here, the king of the jungle is condemned to spend his whole life caged up. In order to satisfy lion hunters' demands, lions are bred like chickens, often in deplorable conditions, which aren't always legal. To prove it, we had to be cunning. We posed as hunters. It was the only way to gain access to one of the 200 lion farms in the country.
Let's go.
We filmed with a secret camera. At the entrance, there are 2 domesticated lion cubs, scarcely weaned, in a 15-square-metre enclosure.
How old are they?
This one is 1 month. 1 month.
1 month.
That one is 4 months.
They are very cute.
Yeah, that's very cute.
Yeah.
The owners offer us the chance to see the farm. The lion cubs seem inquisitive and happy to see us. They don't seem at all wild. According to the law, the animals must have 1 hectare of living space each, which is far from being the case here. They're crammed in like in kennels.
We breed all these, we breed them here. We sell them at about 2.5 years old to other game farms, and obviously the better ones will be hunted.
Supposedly, the breeder does not have the right to organise hunts here.
If you want to hunt a lion, what we do is, if you pick a lion, then we take it to another farm.
Okay.
Where it has to be released for a week or so in advance.
Yeah.
And then you hunt from there on foot.
We cannot hunt here.
I tell him my husband is South African. He feels safe to agree to bend the law.
He's not a South African.
Yes, he is.
He is?
Yes.
Well, there is no problem.
Okay, so he can hunt in the same place. Okay.
A little further along, one enclosure attracts my attention.
Oh, a tiger.
There's a tiger in among the lions. It's forbidden worldwide to hunt this protected animal. But the owner doesn't slow down. Clearly, this farm does not respect the law, and the owner isn't so shy when it comes to negotiating the price of the hunt.
If you want to do it totally legal, then the price of the lion will be about 50% more.
So we should do it not in a legal way. I mean,
if possible, not.
The tiger, we cannot do a tiger.
That's very, very illegal. On the other hand, if you don't want to take it out, there's always ways and means to do it, but we don't really like.
And this farm isn't an isolated case. A South African NGO has been investigating about 20 farms. These are the clips they filmed. We can see animals cooped up in tiny enclosures without shade. The lions are dirty and lifeless, and some of them are deformed due to inbreeding. I decided to ask for an explanation from the spokesman for lion breeders. Pieter Potgieter's mission is to defend an industry which faces mounting criticism. I showed him the clips the NGO have entrusted to me.
Is it acceptable to see so many animals in a small enclosure?
In my view, not.
It looks like mutants. It looks like animals with a lot of problem because of the inbreeding. Are you aware about the inbreeding problem?
I am. It is a real problem. There are places in South Africa where lions are kept in very bad conditions. There are many people who are not members of my association, who are not under the discipline of my ethical code, which do as they like to.
But what about the members of your association? Are you sure that they are all doing it well?
I think so, yes.
Look.
We show him the images we took on our secret camera. At the farm where the lions are crammed in and where we were off in an illegal hunt, that particular owner is a member of his association.
If you want to do it totally legal, then the price of the lion will be about 50% more.
He's a member of your association. He had a lot of bad publicity. Do you think it's normal that this guy is still working?
Well, I have no way to know that he does illegal things, unless people tell me that. In the lion industry is not corrupt, but all the crooks are in the lion business. And it is my function and my mission to clear up this industry.
So there really is a problem, but Pieter Potgieter is sure he can solve it. Well, perhaps not straight away, though, as his association only has one paid employee, himself.
How many breeding farms did you visit?
Not more than 5.
On 200. How can you be the person to tell me how is the industry now and how it is inside if you visit only 5 of these lion breeding farms?
I don't regard it as my function. Do you know how I would be traveling?
I know, I've done it.
Yeah. And I have much more to do than to visit lion farms and see what they are doing. And when I know I come, they clean it up.
How can you defend this guy? How can you try to influence the law for them if you know all these things?
Olivia, you are overstepping now your mission as a journalist. You're arguing with me about what I should be doing. You are now talking like NGO greenie, and I don't like it.
We leave each other a little angrily. But if the farming of lions is a sensitive subject in South Africa, the way that they are killed is even more of a taboo. The infamous canned hunt, where virtually domesticated lions are shot in their enclosures. We are now a long way away from the true spirit of hunting. You just have to look at videos posted on the internet.
In the middle of the body. Yeah, in the middle of the body. Squeeze it off. Here we go. Reload immediately. All right, Jake. Okay. Can we...
There we see lions who are very used to men and so don't even run away. It's butchery.
John, thank you very much.
There is express hunting, in which the animals are thrown out of 4x4s like rabbits. Worse still, lions lured with food. Some of them have even been drugged. These practices are today denounced by certain hunters. This man, who has been organising lion hunts for 15 years, has agreed to break his silence on the condition that he remain anonymous.
Is it very often that the animal is still tranquilized during the hunt?
I'm sure. I'm sure there's a lot of guys that do it like that. Shoot the lion, get it over and done with. Most of the time, the guys would tell you that it's midday, the lion will go and sleep under a tree. And
Do you tell the truth to the clients, or do you tell them the nice story about this lion?
well, that's why you try and make it as memorable as possible. You give him a good time. You make sure he works for it. You try and give him a good hunt.
The hidden face of these lion hunts is quite disturbing. And many are contributing to this industry without even knowing. Welcome to Lion Park, an amusement park rated among the 100 best tourist destinations in the world. 300,000 visitors come here every year from all over the world to this enormous zoo, which is totally dedicated to felines. This is where thousands of tourists' dreams come true. You can approach the big cats and pet the lion cubs. For 20 euros, you can treat yourself to a thrill from the other side of the fence. And of course, spend a little bit more money on souvenirs of this memorable experience. The attraction park states that it supports the protection of the big cats, as it says in this brochure given to the tourists. The Lion Park has gone to great lengths to ensure that our lions never end up in canned hunting scenarios or unsuitable environments. But some people question these claims. This morning, outside Lion Park, there is a demonstration organised by several NGOs. They accuse Lion Park of selling lions to hunters when they get too old to be petted by tourists. Opposite the animal welfare activists, a counter-demonstration has been organised by Lion Park. The staff deny the accusations levied against them. These allegations are harming the business, so the management of Lion Park wanted to show us what happened to the lions when they are no longer in contact with tourists. 25 kilometres from the park, we find the lions' retirement home.
So now these guys are too old to be pets, right?
That's right, yes. So they're now over 6 months when we don't allow cub petting. They'll never be wild lions, but we try to give them the kind of environment and the kind of facility where they can live happy lives with their families. Unfortunately, it might be that some of the other parks support the canned hunting industry. But I can't speak on behalf of them. We can only speak from Lion Park, and we don't support it.
A paradise safe from hunters, which can accommodate up to 200 animals. But a lion in captivity can live for up to 20 years. So what happens when it reaches full capacity? Where do the lions go then? The communications manager has a response for that too. They go to zoos. To prove it to us, he agrees to show us the park's archives where records of the transfers are kept.
How many lions, the average, are you giving to the zoo by year?
I would say about 20 to 30.
But mainly zoos in South Africa?
No, all over the world.
So last year, how many animals did you send to zoos?
I need to confirm. Just give me 1 second, sorry. How many lions did we send to the zoos last year? One.
And the year before, do you know how many lions do you send to the zoo? No, you don't.
There's not a big demand for zoos for lions, but we open. If there's any zoo in the world that wants lions and that they can prove that they look after them, we'll most likely donate it to them.
The zoo's explanation doesn't seem to hold up, but the park has another option for housing the lions, selling them back to farmers, ones, they tell me, who have nothing to do with the hunting industry.
We sent a batch of lions to Joanne Hudley and also to Nazir Kaji, and both of them gave us affidavits to state that they do not support the Kent hunting industry.
In this document, it says that a farmer, Nazir Kaji, bought 15 lions in 2013. We decide to call the farmer. We want to check that he has no links with the hunting industry.
Hello? Yes, hello. May I speak with Nazir KG, please?
Speaking.
Oh, hello. I'm looking for some lions hunts somewhere, so can you...
Yes, we do hunt.
Just what kind of lion is it possible to hunt with you?
No, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what's available.
And you can send me also the prices and everything?
Yes, you can just call me. You can send me an email.
Yes.
Any info you've got.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bad luck for Lion Park. The first buyer that I call does in fact organise hunts himself. Is he an exception? We have a meeting with a park employee. He agrees to speak for the first time. According to him, selling animals to the hunting industry is common practice at Lion Park. He even states that he has witnessed some of the sales. For fear of reprisals, he prefers to testify anonymously.
Why does this park need to sell the lions?
This park is like every other petting zoo in the country. Obviously, the lion's life of being petted is a very short space of time. I guess it's probably 4 to 5 months.
Yep.
So after that period, the lion is too big to be played with. So then you need more cubs coming in. And after 4 or 5 years, you've got 200 lions where you've got no use for most of them. What are you going to be doing with them? You're still going to be feeding them. The enclosures are very expensive to build. To look after them in terms of vet bills is expensive. The majority are going to be sold. And the only people who are going to pay for them are the hunters. There is no value for a live lion.
How do they manage to move the animals from the lion park to the hunting industry?
It could be the hunter himself coming to pick up the animals.
Directly at the park?
Directly at the park. Or it gets bought by just a dealer and possibly buying, say, 10 lions, of which 5 could be going to somewhere legit and another 5 could be going to the hunting industry.
If this statement is true, the lion cub this boy is petting at the park could well be the same animal as the one we see in this photo. The secret to success here is to ensure that neither the tourist nor the hunter know the truth. Lions caressed by tourists that end up being killed with a shotgun, sometimes after being drugged or mistreated. The government is aware of what's happening, but they have other priorities. The country is still getting back on its feet after apartheid and still faces big problems with unemployment and corruption. And so, in the face of a powerful industry where everything happens on private land, the authorities seem to have given up.
The only way to really deal with it is to make it compulsory for a conservation official to attend every single lion hunt, and we don't have the resources to do that. Unless we prohibit lion hunting, there will always be irregularities or illegalities taking place. Then we would have to close down the whole hunting industry.
But if the government doesn't want to ban hunting, it is also because there may be a positive side. Paradoxically, it's apparently saved one of the most endangered species in Africa from extinction, the rhinoceros, a prime target for poachers. Their horns are attributed to have healing aphrodisiac qualities in Asia. And on the black market, rhino horn is more expensive than gold or cocaine. Wien van der Linde is one of the most important rhinoceros owners in the country. He authorises 4 hunts per year on his land. Safaris that they charge rich Americans or Russians 90,000 euros to take part in.
Why do you hunt some of them?
If I don't get an income, I can't afford this whole conservation process. And I think I can't afford to look after them. We are commercial ranches. We're not biodiversity conservation like our parks. We've paid for these animals, we paid for the land, we pay for the people.
Sacrificing some animals in order to save others, Wien considers himself to be one of the last guardians of the rhinoceros.
Most of them is coming from Kruger, the National Kruger Park, and then also from KwaZulu-Natal, Kluhlui National Park. We bought them there.
So it means that National Park send you some rhino even if they know that you're going to hunt some of them?
Yes, they do, because they've got a huge problem there. They're losing over 1,000 a year by poaching.
To protect his rhinos, Wien van der Linde does not skimp on security. Thanks to the income from hunting, he can pay for a private militia, which costs him 400,000 euros a year. We are not allowed to show their faces because these heavily armed men risk their lives fighting poachers.
This is syndicates and serious crime and serious people. So yeah, we have them to protect not just our rhinos, but also our people that's part of our staff.
When we see the bullet jacket, the rifles, everything, it looks like a war.
It is. It's nothing less than a war. All these people's been highly trained. They've been in the war in the Middle East as well. So they know what war is about, and we're serious about what we're doing.
To protect the rhinoceroses, these men have the right to shoot poachers who enter their property. They patrol through the night, keeping watch for anything suspicious. 3,000 hectares are scrutinized. This time, there's nothing to report. Thanks to these men, no rhinoceros has ever been poached here. In the end, putting all these wild animals behind fences does have an advantage. Hunting, despite its excesses, enables the protection of several species. In any case, that is the firm belief of this wildlife expert.
From 1964, when there was only 500,000, today we've got 22 million.
Animals.
So, 22 million head of animals. Now that is a tremendous increase in a matter of half a decade, 50 years. And now, you know, there's more wildlife in South Africa now than there has been at any time in the past 200 years. So it's a very unique situation, and there's no other country in the world that have this record.
It means that in this world, we're going to see fences everywhere. I mean, the nature that we think about and that we have in mind won't exist anymore, in fact.
And if you're not going to fence areas and cordon them off as conservation areas, you can kiss it goodbye. You're going to have to do that. I would have loved to see Africa rolling hills with herds of animals all over the place, and nobody just kills them. It's only the predators. That'll be my dream as well. But you must be pragmatic. It cannot happen. Forget it.
In order to exist today, wild animals must have a market value. Nature that is both wild and free is in the process of disappearing.
I'm sure a lot of you will have strong opinions about what you've just seen. Let us know what you think. Next week, a rare account from inside the Essendon doping scandal. See you then. Good night.